Hey, and welcome to the channel. If you're joining us for the first time, I'm Andy. Today on the channel, we are going to continue on a pretty extensive project. It's been going on since August of 2024. I was hauling the 57 Minneapolis Moline from Eugene, Oregon, back down here to the valley. I ended up getting up to the top of the Canyon Creek Pass, just south of Canyonville, Oregon. It's a pretty long, I want to say it's about 7-mile stretch of, it's not a real steep grade, but it's a consistent grade. Got all the way up to the top, right at the summit, and engine decided to drop one of the exhaust valve seats out of cylinder 2 and have a field party with that piston as well as the bottom of the cylinder head. So rather than taking the route of pulling that cylinder head, putting one piston in it, having that head checked and decked for the third time, which likely we're damn near service limit already, so that's probably not a possibility. It would be a whole new cylinder head. Rather than going down that road, I was gonna go ahead and pony up the cash for a long block. That came in, the company I was looking at and how I wanted the engine build, it came in right around $9,000. So something else came up. One of the fleets that my day job that we work on happens to be a fire suppression sprinkler company that has a fleet of Ram trucks. One of them I just did a bunch of work to. It was a 17 Ram 2500. Just put a new Jasper transmission in it, just put a reman turbo on it. I'm sure it had some, I think I did do an EGR cooler on it right around the same time. Just a ton of work. And their driver that was in that truck decided to total that truck. Got into a head-on collision, I don't know with what, or the real story behind that, but destroyed the truck, insurance totaled it. They bought it back just for the transmission to swap. They wanted me to swap that into a 13 that the transmission was going out. Both of them were the, what was that? I don't know if it's a 68 RFE. I don't know. I want to say it's 68 RFE in both of them. Did find that there is something not right. I don't know if it was caused by the accident. It's still something I'm working on. But it has some weird transmission range rationality code that I haven't been able to figure it out yet. That's that customer's problem, not mine. So back to the story at hand. That truck, I was given the opportunity by the owner of this company to purchase the engine out of it, which all signs point to it's likely okay. I did manage to purchase that engine from them for $1,500. That's this sweet unit here. So as far as I can tell, it will require a bit of work. I mean, obviously computers are different, harnesses are different, some of your accessory components are different, alternator, balancers. It almost looks like the water pumps are a different diameter pulley too. I think the tensioners are about the same. AC compressor is different. There's just a ton that's actually different, but that's what this video is going to be about, is us determining the differences between a 2017 6.7 and a 2008 6.7. So that's what we're finally going to get going on today. We've got the new one hanging on the stand, got the blown up one just sitting on a pallet. Let's do this. So I did just have another thought that I forgot to mention. That's probably the biggest difference is that I know of at this point between these two engines. In 2008, the injectors were a solenoid type injector, whereas in 2017, by that time, they had switched to a piezoelectric injector. So they are not compatible with one another. The cylinder heads, this is what, during my research on whether this engine would be compatible or not with my 08, I did find that the cylinder heads, when you buy a cylinder head, I want to say the year range was 07.5, which is the first 6.7, up to, I want to say 2018. I could be wrong on that, but I want to say it was 18. They specify them as the exact same cylinder head when ordering, so that would tell me that those solenoid type injectors I can put into this piezoelectric injector head just fine. So that's something to keep in mind. That's probably one of the first things we're going to actually tackle. I had my 6 tested. 3 of them came back as having a high return rate, so I ended up replacing 3 of them with remans, and then keeping the 3 that tested good. So we'll have a fresh set of cleaned and tested injectors for this new engine. One other thing that I failed to mention that's even better with this whole deal, this truck had 160,000 miles on it when it was totaled. I don't think I've ever owned anything with 160,000 miles on it. That's incredible. It's pretty much a brand new truck, so should be great. Because that unit, I want to say, I'd have to look at the odometer on the truck, but it's over 300. It's 3 something. And it's a hard 3 something. The previous owner before me just used it to haul a big horse trailer up and down the interstate. And my experience with it hasn't been any different. I use a truck as a truck. There's typically something hooked up to my hitch. So, and it's usually shaking hands with danger.
Shake hands with danger.
Shake hands with danger.
Kind of weight. I like to party, what can I say? So, carrying on. Oh, I got a new crankcase filter in it too. Look at that. I do not think it's compatible with an 08 though. We'll find out. It's freaking cold. Get on there. Yep. Need to buy some Milwaukee tools for the house here. This is DeWalt stuff. Just sucks. It's horrible. Don't waste your money on DeWalt. Be a man, buy Milwaukee. If you're listening, DeWalt, I don't want you to sponsor me because your tools suck. However, if Milwaukee happens to be listening, by all means, send me some tools. I'll use them and tell the world how great they are. Get out of there. Yeah. 8mm. I'm gonna assume that even though this is a shitty DeWalt, it should take these injector nuts loose, because those are not that tight. Well, that's one thing it managed to do. It's ridiculous. This is like a brand new hammer drill, right? Complete shit. Barely has enough power to take off a finger tight nut. Oh, get out of there. Right there. Just come on out. Pretty much any of these gaskets that I take off, I'll be replacing. So, got a new valve cover gasket already. What I don't think I have is a plenum plate gasket and an intake horn gasket. I'm gonna have to order those, which kind of is gonna delay reassembling the injectors, but whatever. We'll get a good start anyhow today. That was the goal here. Haven't been able to find time lately to do any of my own projects. I've been either well, that's not true, I guess. I've been either doing the regular hustle, trying to make a buck, or fixing crap around the house that's continually breaking on me. So whatever. Why does that rocker, it's like, or are they all, okay, they're all kind of cattywampus like that. Interesting. I did spin this motor over by hand before I pulled it out of the truck. And I did a few full revolutions, so I'm thinking internally we're fine. The damage to the truck and why it was totaled from that front impact, that whole frame horn on the passenger side was just smashed right into the motor mount, actually broke the motor mount. And I was originally worried before I had the motor out that it could have cracked the block, but Cummins diesel, it didn't crack the block. That's a shitload of iron. So busted the shit out of the fucking Chrysler motor mount, but otherwise we're all good. There's a piece of our valve cover gasket / harness, injector harness. So next, I mean, if you're watching this, you're probably a Cummins dude, not some Ford. So you probably have some experience with these, but pull the injectors. It is the exhaust rockers you got to pull out, all 6. And that will allow you access. There's 2 bolts on the hold downs for the injectors. The exhaust rocker covers the hold down bolt on this side. So you got to pull those rockers. We'll take those, or we're not even going to touch those yet. We're actually going to take our rail off and then take the lines off. We'll crack the feed tube nuts, then we'll pull those loose, and then back the feed tube nut out all the way, pull the feed tube, pull the injector out. Simple enough. We'll probably do some high speed on that kind of deal. But I mean, you get the idea. It's just 10mm bolt for the exhaust rockers. I'm gonna go ahead and pull those off camera. So I took the exhaust rockers off. I did end up zipping out all the bolts for the hold downs. Again, it's just 2 bolts per injector, 8mm head on them. Simple enough, not rocket science. We're going to start to get down to the fuel rail as well as the lines. Probably just leave the plenum plate on for now till I have gaskets, but we got to pull the feed tubes to get these injectors out. So we're going to get the rail and the lines off anyhow. Come on. Get this harness out of the way here. Where is a panel popper when you need one? Well, I guess I should have gone inside of the dipstick, huh? Okay. Oh, maybe not. Why would you? For Pete's sake. Yeah. There we go. Get this insulation out of the way. Frickin' wires, dude. Don't need that. Is that as good as we're gonna get with this right here? I guess after I take that nut off, I can fold that harness down, huh? Where's my drill? Shitty D won't. Oh, she's a 10 metric. Guarantee you this thing ain't up to the task for that. So, the van that this socket's set in here, old Hobo Freight Quinn, only has standard deep sizes, doesn't have Medtronics, so 3/8 it is. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, guy. She's not a loose 10. Dang nabbit. I'm not gonna go hunting for a 10mm deep socket. Well, I might have to. Just crack a boot with a wrench, I suppose. Apparently I'm gonna have to buy a couple extra quarter drive 10 deeps and shallows because I keep losing the frickin' thing. It's starting to get old. And I don't like having sockets missing out of a socket set. One of those things can drive a guy crazy. Come on, I know you're finger tight. My damn fingers are so freaking cold. The struggle is real. Fold that feller down out of the way. Might as well take those rail bolts loose. At least these studded ones. Now that we've established I don't have a 10mm deep anywhere around here. a 3/4, I believe, for the lines. Or what's that, 19? This is America, damn it. If I can put a standard wrench on it, I'm doing it. 3/4. You don't got to take them off the rail. I mean, they just got to be, you know, loosened up so you can swivel them out of the way. That way you don't got to go label your lines or any of that shit. And I'm going to use these lines, specifically the return that goes to the back of the cylinder head. I managed to booger that up pretty good doing the cylinder head in this truck twice. Somehow got some weird bends in it, so looks like it might be leaking. So I'm going to use these. Plus, you know, these have been butted up against these feed tubes. I am going to use these feed tubes, depending on, I guess, design. If there was a design change from piezoelectric to plunger, or solenoid rather. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to buy some feed tubes because one of mine got damaged taking it out last time. That's the other thing. Damn it, I didn't bring it home either. Got a feed tube puller at work. I must have left it. I had it out, I was using it. Did a 24 valve head this last week and was using it, and I was like, don't forget this. And it's, you know, one of those things. You say don't forget something and you're kind of bound to forget it, so that's what happened there. So we'll see if I can get these feed tubes out without damaging them. I would rather use my puller, but and if you don't have one of those and you're taking feed tubes out, buy the damn tool. It's gonna make your life a lot easier because they can be freaking frustrating. And honestly, if they don't come right out, I'm not taking these injectors out today. I can wait. We'll move on to other things. This will get the lines and the rail out of here. That's progress in the right direction, I suppose. Okay. Let's get this rail out of here. Oh, you know what I didn't do? What am I missing here? Supply and return dummy. Those are probably pretty important to take off. Or not return. Or is it? I don't fucking know. It's some bullshit. That ain't a 3/4. What is that? 11/16? I'm gonna paint this motor after we get it stripped down, the harness off. Figure if I've gone this far, I might as well make it look pretty too. So once it's all stripped down, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna clean it up, and it's gonna get painted Cummins beige, because America. Yeah, America! Fuck yeah! Naturally. Come on, just stick on there. I already loosened that, didn't I? Yep, yep. Are these rails different, I gotta wonder? I don't know. Guess we shall see. They may be because of the filter head design, I don't know. I'll have to dig the boxes out for the other motor, because it's already off this motor. What did I need? Tan Medtronic. How was that? Oh, that was a washer off that line. Okay, those all get replaced too. Don't reuse that. You'll probably cause yourself more problems and have leaks if you do. So I have reused them, but my new ones. That would be the smart thing to do anyhow. Well, get out of there. That's my screwdriver. Pocket pry bar. There's a tool that I freaking absolutely love. If you haven't seen those and you got a Matco tool truck, never seen them on any other truck. I'm sure they exist somewhere else, but Matco has their actual pocket pry bars. It's like a little pocket screwdriver like this deal, but they're way heavier duty steel, way thicker, and they're designed to actually pry on stuff. And that's what I carry at work around in my pocket rather than a screwdriver. They don't have a magnet on them, but I carry a telescoping flexible magnet anyway, so you don't need that shit. For the time being, let's go ahead and put that sealing washer back on this banjo to help it stay in the line. Like so. Now, 15/16 or 24 millimeter on your feed tube lines. And the nice thing about having this out of the truck, a guy can just put a socket on. Like, who the fuck do I think I am? Try doing that in the truck. Good luck. Let me know how it works out for you. Or no, it's not the feed tubes that's the problem, it's the lines in the truck. That's it. Feed tubes, yeah, you can do that. Because, if you're pulling the rail and the line's off anyway, it don't matter. Oh, Hobo Freight let me down again? That means I have to dig through all this shit and find a 15/16. About a 1/2-inch set sitting here on the floor, but it's freaking buried under a mountain of crap. Guy needs to get some of these freaking projects out of here. Jesus. That or a bigger shop. I vote a bigger shop. I actually got quite the complete socket set from this Quinn brand, and overall, been pretty happy. I haven't broke any of their sockets yet, and I think they're a lifetime warranty on them, so. Granted, I don't know how extensively they get used here at the house, but I don't do much work out of the house, at least on customer stuff. It's pretty much mobile business, so. Do I have a 24 shallow? this is, you know, impact, which
Amazing. The shit people that can flick you.
all those haters, fuck right on off. So that one, you gotta take these 215s out. Is that a song? I feel like that's a song. And pull that bracket loose if I can find a 15 millimeter. Got him.
These nuts. Got him.
Guess we'll see how long I make this video. Maybe it'll be multiple parts. Those aren't 15, by the way, they're 13. Guys, slightly stunned, it appears. All you gotta do, you ain't even gotta take them out. There's an eccentric on the top bolt, and the bottom one is, I guess you'd call it an eccentric too. It slides up off the bolt and then tilts out of the way for this reason, because again, Cummins is the shit, and Ford sucks. And well, if you drive Duramax, just go ahead and lay down, because you're not even in this fight. Your shit sucks and you know it. Jeez Louise, the thread's ending sometime? Alright, let's see if they're gonna fall out or if we're holding off on pulling feed tubes. I'm gonna vote we're likely holding off. I need to get back. We're gonna take a commercial break here. Gonna organize some junk. So I just had a Budweiser Real Men of Genius commercial thought come across my head.
Budweiser presents Real Men of Genius. Real Men of Genius.
Being that this engine is out of the truck, why not just take one of the injector lines and use it as my puller? Real Men of Genius. What a treat. Number 2. Now we go to the number 3. Well, thread on there, damn it. Hey. Oh yeah. Gotta get new feed tube O-rings as well. Add that to my list. I'm gonna reuse these feed tubes. They've never been out of this head before. The ones in blown up motor, I've had them out 3 or 4 times at this point, so, and they didn't leak. But I've replaced the O-rings on them every time. But the spot that people would tell you, oh, you can't do it, they'll leak, is right up where it goes into the injector body, because it, how did I get that tight, dude? Like what in the, there we go. because it's thought as though, well, it's not thought, it is fact, that is a sealing joint right there where it goes into the body. That taper is actually swaged and can distort the feed tube. But like I said, I've never had an issue with it, so we're going to continue to do the same shit that I've done and not replace feed tubes, because that's more money that I don't want to spend. I freaking ram it into the cylinder head. Looks fine. Alright, those are laid out. Let's put our line back on the rail. Now we can pull the injectors out of that head and actually compare and contrast. Do I have, oh, where's my injector popper 5000 is the next question. I gotta find that. Got an adjustable, like a indexing little hooked pry bar that I use to pop injectors that works terrific, if I can find it. Well, thinking that the feed tubes were going to be my issue. No, those came out easy enough. However, the injector bodies clearly have never been out of the cylinder head and have zero desire to come out. I did look for that indexing pry bar and was unable to find it. It's not out on the truck and it's not here in the box at the house, so that would lead me to believe I probably have it at work. I likely wouldn't be able to use that without removing the rocker box. I think it's a little too long. And I'm going to try to avoid removing the rocker box so I don't have to replace that gasket because it's not leaking. My other option that I guess I'll remember to bring home come Monday is I have a set of heel bars, some smaller ones that I know will fit between the exhaust valves here and get in under that injector. I should be able to pop them that way. And that's going to be the best way. I don't want to mar up the mating surface from the valve cover to the rocker box here, trying to just put a curved pry bar on it and pry up on the body. I don't want to go that route, so we'll probably hold off on all else work on this motor till I'm 100% sure that my injectors are going to slide down in here and seat upright. According to Google they will, but you don't know for sure till you do it, right? So yeah, I'll see you guys. I mean, it'll be instant for you, but we'll get back on this here in a few days. So got a little ahead of myself here. Didn't include you in part of this, but brought a small heel bar home the other night. This way you can get in under that injector flange on the body and pop the injectors without removing the rocker box. So that's kind of nifty. Went ahead, cleaned the board really good, and then being this engine, yeah, it has 160K on it, but it's ran its entire life with an EGR on it. So right at the bore for the nozzle, it was nice and carboned up. The nozzles on these are, I want to say it measures like 7.92 mil or something like that. So 8mm stainless brush on a quarter drive extension, and then I went through, cleaned all those injector or the nozzle boards out real well, blew them all out with compressed air, got them wiped out real clean. Just put some assembly lube on the new O-rings, the dust O-rings, and then got them all down in their bores, all the screws finger tight. So now we'll go through torquing the injectors, the hold downs, as well as the feed tubes. Sequence for that, in case you're looking and can't seem to find it. Initially 44 inch-pounds on the hold downs for the injectors. Then you want to back those off to where there's no torque on them, so even half a turn or whatever. And then the feed tube nuts, you'll torque those to 11 foot-pounds. And then come back over the hold downs and do the final torque on those to 71 inch-pounds. Followed by the final torque on the feed tubes at 37 foot-pounds. So with that being said, where did my torque wrench go? Oh, it's right there. 44 inch-pounds. Did I already do this one? I feel like I already torqued the first one. Yeah, I did. So we'll do our initial torque on the feed tubes, which is 11 foot-pounds. Hold downs for final torque on those, 71 foot-pounds, or inch-pounds rather. Thirty-seven foot-pounds. I'm gonna go ahead and put all the exhaust rocker arms back on, and we'll get those torqued down, followed by doing a valve set. As if there wasn't already 5,000 videos of people setting valves on YouTube, right? What am I doing? Stunned. Which, I didn't take the intakes off, so in theory I shouldn't have to adjust those, but we'll run through them anyway just to be sure. A lot easier to do when the motor's on the stand in front of you and not in the truck, so. Alright, 2 of them down, 4 to go. Well, I did not have the rocker arm torque spec wrote down anywhere, so I opted to ask Google AI, and according to Google, the answer to that is 27 foot-pounds. So that's what we shall do. And being that these came off of this, I didn't have the head off or anything, I'm gonna, without even moving those adjusters, torque them down. We'll run through it and make sure everything's in spec, but being that the head didn't come off, I'm not worried about bending anything. We're currently TDC on cylinder 1, so from there we're going to adjust intake valves 1, 2, and 4, and exhaust valves 1, 3, and 5. After that, we'll spin the engine 360 back up to TDC, and then we'll adjust intake valves 3, 5, 6, and exhaust valves 2, 4, 6. Lash specifications for this engine are 10 thou intake and 20 thou exhaust. So let's see what we got going. That's actually a little loose on that exhaust, or intake rather. Wrench you'll need 14 millimeter and a 5 millimeter hex head. There just needs to be a slight drag on that when it's tightened down. Don't want it too tight and you don't want it too loose. Though the saying goes, a loose valve is a happy valve. Simply for the fact that if it's a little on the loose end, it's going to spend more time off the valve seat, which in turn is going to keep that valve cooler. Tight valve, it's going to spend longer on the seat and soak up more heat, which is no bueno. That feels good. Let's go 3 exhaust. I'm liking it. And 5 exhaust. That's good. Followed by, what do we got? 2 and 4 on the intakes. Seeing that intake valve's actually loose as well. Pretty common in most engine designs to not see the intake valves move much. You typically are going to be adjusting exhaust valves. They'll tighten up with heat cycles, generally, not always. Okay, and 4. And that intake's loose as well. Interesting. Unless they set them to maybe 11. I don't know. 10 and 20 is pretty standard for a 6.7. Trying to remember the other spec, the exhaust valves. Some of them were 26 thou. Maybe one of you guys knows. Was that the 12 valves or the 24 valves? You'd think I'd remember, being that I was just working on doing a cylinder head on a common rail 24 valve yesterday, but I don't remember. I want to say I did 10 and 20 on those. So maybe it's the 12 valves that are 10 and 26. Beautiful. We'll spin it 360 now. Oh, I'm blowing my tape out. Right in there. So now, both of them should be loose on 6. They are. So we'll start with the exhaust valves and do 2, 4, 6. It's a little loose. We'll tighten that one up. Too tight. Beautiful. Move on up to 4. That one's a little loose as well. Perfect. Number 6. I can already tell you that's hot dog in the hallway. Now, Intakes 356. And then the valves will be set. That one's loose. I have a feeling that's too tight. Yeah, the adjuster spun with the nut. That's why usually I'll back it off just a hair after it makes contact. So then 5/6. That one feels really loose as well. Interesting. Maybe not. No, that one's actually not too bad. Maybe just a tiny bit loose. While I'm here, might as well, right? And we'll check 6. And then the valves are done. Very loose. Like I said, loose valves a happy valve, right? They're just noisy. That's the downside to running them too loose. Nope. Oh, I got my bit stuck. Come here. It's gotta be right in there. Of course, that last valve is gonna give me issues, isn't it? Still don't know. Maybe it's got so much oil on the feeler gauge, she's just extra slickery. Dry it off and it's still a little loose. I don't like that. That's the sweet spot right there. Yeah, Yeah.
Went ahead and installed the valve cover gasket slash injector harness temporarily. That way I can put the valve cover on and there won't be a 1/4 inch gap between the valve cover and the rocker box. I'm gonna be painting this engine, so I want that all covered up. Yeah, when I go to actually install the engine back in the truck, I will have to remove the valve cover and the valve cover gasket slash injector harness to get the motor back in. You really need as much clearance as possible. I know it's possible to do it with the injectors in it, so that's exactly what I plan on doing. I'm gonna end up having to jack the cab up more than it is right now, but it is doable. That's how I pulled this engine from the truck it came out of. I pulled it actually even with the injector harness on there. I ended up breaking the corner of the gasket, but it's doable. So that's the plan. I'm gonna go ahead and get that valve cover back on here, and we might call it a day at this point. So looking at where we are time-wise, I'm definitely going to go ahead and break this video up into multiple parts. If you made it to the end here, I do appreciate you watching. If you're not subscribed, do consider doing so. It costs you nothing and greatly helps me out. If you like the content, be sure to smash that like button. Go ahead and share it, the whole 9. And you guys take it easy.